everybody, Scooty007 here, bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch, and welcome once again to the next Philadelphia Phillies live streamed game. Throughout this entire 2008 replay, we will be live streaming all of the Philadelphia Phillies games. And today we've got game 2 of a 2-game series between the Phillies and the Brewers. But before we head down to the field, let's take a look at the standings to see where everyone is standing right now in the league currently. Starting off with the NL East, we've got the New York Mets at 14-6. They right now have a 2-game lead over the Marlins, who come in right now at 13-9. Phillies are 3 games back. They're 12-10. The Braves are 10-12. They're 5 games out. And the Washington Nationals down there in the bottom at 7-15. They're 8 games out right now out of first in the NL East. Moving over to the NL Central, the Chicago Cubs right now have holding the top spot at 17-5. They've got a 4-game lead over the St. Louis Cardinals, who right now, who right now are 13-9. They are 4 games behind. The Astros are 11-12. They're 6.5 out, followed by the Cincinnati Reds at 10-13. They're 7.5 out. Brewers 8-13, they are 8.5 out, and the Pirates are 7-14, they are 9.5 games out. Moving over to the NL West, taking a look at those standings, we got the Padres at 6-16. They got a 2-game lead over the Los Angeles Dodgers, who right now are 14-8. Diamondbacks 6 games out. There are 10-12, followed by the Colorado Rockies at 7-15. They are 9 games out. And the Giants right now are 6-16. They are 10 games out. As Dwayne Marsh joins us here for some live Phillies baseball. How you doing, Dwayne? Welcome in. Just going over the standings so far of the replay like I normally do before we get down to the field and play some ball. Moving over to the AL East. We got the Baltimore Orioles right now currently in first place. They are 13-8. A 1-game lead over the Boston Red Sox, who are 13-10. The Tampa Bay Rays are 10-11. They are 3 games out. And the Yankees and the Blue Jays both tied at 10-12. They are both 3.5 games out. Taking a look at the AL Central, we've got the Cleveland Indians at 13-7. They got a 1-game lead over the Chicago White Sox, who are 12-8. The Tigers are 10-12. They are down out by 4 games, and the Kansas City Royals next at 8-12. They are 5 games out, and the Minnesota Twins are 6-15. They are 7.5 out. Moving over to the AL West, we've got the Los Angeles Angels at 15-7. 3-game lead over the Oakland A's at 12-10. Taking a look here at the Rangers, the Texas Rangers are 10-12. They are 5 games out, and the Seattle Mariners are 8-14, 7 games out of first. So that is a look at the standings around the league where we stand before today's game. So let's head down to the field. The Phillies and the Brewers ready to take the first pitch.
Play ball!
And with that, we are here at Miller Park. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies. We've got Jason leading off, the center fielder, Jason Worth. Batting second, the first baseman, Greg Dobbs. Batting third, the second baseman, Chase Utley. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Pat Burrell. Batting fifth, the right fielder, So Taguchi. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Pedro Feliz. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Eric Barnett. Batting eighth, the catcher, Carlos Ruiz. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Jamie Moyer. On the mound for the Brew Crew, it is Jeff Suppan, who will come into today's game with an 18.37 ERA. No wins and 3 losses. He's pitched 14 and 2/3 of an inning, allowed 30 hits, 9 strikeouts, and 10 walks. We're here at Miller Park, which gives a +2 to strikeouts and a +1 to walks. And with that, the home plate umpire is dusting off home plate. And we're getting ready to start the game here. So I got to bring up my database so I know what pitchers to bring in. When we do that. So the home plate umpire is dusting off home plate as we speak. And with that, Jason Worth taking his stride over to the batter's box. Give me 1 second here as I just shrink some columns there. All right, we are ready for the first pitch. Jason Worth comes into today's game with batting a .229. For those of you that are not familiar with inside pitch, everything in inside pitch starts off on the pitcher's card. We're going to roll 2d6 and a d20. We'll take a look at the 2d6. That'll tell us the result of the play. And let's get started. Here's the first pitch of the game. So the 2d6 come up a 4-4. We take a look at the first die. That's going to tell us the column to look in. The second die tells us the row to look in. So 4-4, column 4, row 4. That is going to be a strikeout. Now we look at Jason Worth's range. It's on a 1 to 15. Remember, we add 2 for Miller Park. 16 out of range. So now we roll for the batter. Worth gets a chance to respond, and it's a 6-6. Column 6, row 6, double star 4. That's going to be a ground ball down the first baseline to fielder. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Milwaukee Brewers. Braun will be out there in left field. Kepler will be in center. Hart at right. Going around the horn, Hall on third. Hardy will be at short. Weeks will be at second. Fielder on first. Kendall behind the plate. And Jeff will be on the mound. And with that, Greg Dobbs batting in .038. And here is the pitch. 4-5, column 4, row 5. That is a blank. And by the way, chat, for those of you that are new to inside pitch, these are the actual as-played lineups as to how this game started. So 4-5 is a blank. That means nothing happens off of the pitcher's card. We are going to roll now off the batter's card. And that is going to be a 3-6, column 3, row 6. Fly ball back there to Kepler. He'll go back, makes the catch.
Out.
And that puts 2 away. Chase Utley batting a .312, and here is the pitch. Utley 1-2, column 1, row 2. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 10. That is a 1. Struck him out. So no runs, no hits, and no errors as the Phillies go down in order. We go to the bottom of the first, and here is the starting lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers. Leading off, the second baseman, Ricky Weeks. Batting second, the center fielder, Gabe Kepler. Batting third, the left fielder, Ryan Braun. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the first baseman, Prince Fielder. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Corey Hart. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Bill Hall. Batting 7th, the shortstop, J.J. Hardy. Batting 8th, the pitcher, Jeff Suppan. And batting 9th, the catcher, Jason Kendall. On the mound for the Fighting Phillies, it is Jamie Moyer. Moyer will come into today's game with a 4.30 ERA. 1 win, 2 losses. He's pitched 23 innings, allowed 25 hits, 15 strikeouts, and 8 walks. And with that, Ricky Weeks batting a 155, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-5, column 5, row 5. We're going to start this game off with as Moyer were beating him. Hit by pitch rating is a 20. You'll add a +5. We take a look at the D6. That is the D20. That is a 6. It is in range, and Ricky will get hit by the pitch, and he's awarded first base. So as Weeks will trot on down to first, let's take a look at the starting lineup, the starting defense for the Philadelphia Phillies. Pat Burrell will be out there in left field. Worth will be in center. Taguchi out there in right field. Going around the horn, Feliz is on third. Burnett at short. Utley is on second. Dobbs at first. Ruiz is behind the plate. And Jamie Moyer on the mound. So runner on first. Anytime we have a runner on base, we do check for strategy. Strategy roll is a 15. Brewers are going to stand pat, and the infield is at double play depth. Chad, if you guys are new to Inside Pitch and you guys have any questions out there, please feel free to ask, and I will do my best to answer and explain all of the plays going on with every roll of the dice. 4-4, column 4, row 4. This time it's a possible error on a throw. So on a possible error, we do take a look at the numbers in the brackets. That is their error rating. So whose error rating are we checking? 2-1, column 2, row 1, ground ball to Barnett. His error rate, there is a 1-7. It's a 16, no error there. So now we will check for a double play. And that is a 2. Barnett, Utley, that is a 0. Moyer will give a 0. So we stay at a 2. The die roll, we take 1d6 rolled against the ground double play rating. And it says here, on a roll of a 6, the only play is at first. So Weeks will go to scoring, will get into scoring position.
Out!
And there is one away. Ryan Braun batting a 3-14. Strategy roll is a 10. Brewers are standing pat, 1 out, infield at normal depth. And here is the pitch. 4-6, column 4, row 6. Possible error. So once again, we will check the error, the number in the brackets. Whose error range are we checking? 5-1, column 5, row 1. Fly ball back there to right field to Taguchi. His error range is a 0. That is a 15. There is no error there. Taguchi will make the catch.
Out!
And with that, Weeks will hold. Now, on balls with runners on second and with less than 2 outs, balls hit to F9 to right field. We subtract 1 from the base run rating. We're going to see if Weeks advances to third. And it says here, if the roll of the D6 is less than or equal to the adjusted base run rating, advances to third, otherwise he hold. Weeks will hold at second. So 2 outs and a runner on first, and that's going to bring up Prince Fielder, who is batting a 295. And here is the pitch. 6-3, column 6, row 3. That is a at the ballpark. So on a 6-3, we rolled the at symbol. That means we resolved the play going to the ballpark card, and we're going to go to Miller Park for this play. By the way, strategy roll was a 12. The Brewers were standing pat on strategy. 3-1, column 3, row 1. It is a double star one. It's a fly ball back to Worth. Worth goes back to the warning track and makes the catch.
Out!
And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the Brewers will leave one stranded. After one, we're tied at 0. We go to the top of the second. Pat Brill, So Taguchi, and Pedro Feliz due up for the Phillies. Pat Brill batting a .275, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-5, column 4, row 5. That is a blank. We roll for Pat Brill now. Brill, 6-2, column 6, row 2, double star 5. Fly ball back there to Kepler. Kepler goes back, waves off Braun.
You're out!
Makes the catch and puts one away. Taguchi batting a .333, and here is the pitch. 5-1, column 5, row 1, strikeout on a 1-12. That is a 5, in range, struck him out.
Swing and a miss! Struck him out!
So 2 away, and that's going to bring up Pedro Feliz, who's batting a .254. And here is the pitch. 2 outs, nobody on. And that is going to be a 6-5, column 6. Excuse me there. Column 6, row 5, that is a split result. So, we resolve the split result by looking at the batter's card. Pedro Feliz is a right-handed batter. So on the pitcher card, we look to the right-handed side of the slash, and that is a blank. Excuse me there. Pedro Feliz, 1-5, column 1, row 5, power hit to heart. So on a 1-8, it's a single. On a 9-14, it's a double. 15-20, it's a fly out. It's a 17, he flies out, Hart gets under it.
Out!
And makes the catch, and that will retire the side. As the Brewers retire the Phillies in order, 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second. Corey Hart, Bill Hall, and J.J. Hardy due up for the Brew Crew. Corey Hart batting a .176, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-2, column 4, row 2. That is a walk on a 1-7. The 13 is too high. 3-4, column 3, row 4. Power hit to Worth. So Moyer being a left-handed pitcher, on a 1-4, it's a single. On a 5-10, it's a double. On an 11-20, it's a fly out. It's a 2. That's going to be good for a single. And with that, Corey Hart will lead off with a base hit. Strategy rolls a 14. Runner on first. Infield is at double play depth. Bill Hall batting a .234. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 1-4, column 1, row 4, walk plus. On a 1-21, that is an 8, and that is going to be a walk. Now, on a walk plus, first of all, remember that is a split result, so Hall being a right-handed batter, we look to the right-handed side of the slash on the pitcher card. So on a walk plus, we add 10, plus the 1 from the walk waiting here at Miller Park, we add 11. That's how we get the number 21. That is an 8. It is in range.
Walks, and that wasn't close.
And right now they have runners on first. Brewers got runners on first and second. Strategy roll is a 17, and J.J. Hardy is up. He's batting a .260, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 2-4, column 2, row 4, strikeout on a 1-9. The 20 is too high. 3-4, column 3, row 4, fly ball back there to Taguchi. He'll make the catch.
You're out!
Hart Base run rating is a 2. This time it's a 1, and Hart will advance to third. And with that, the Brewers have runners on the corners. Jeff Suppan is up. He's batting a .375. Strategy roll is a 13. Brewers holding off, and the reason we know that they're holding off is that green indicator on the pitcher side of the bunting chart, which says he will bunt on a 4-19. The 13 is out of the range. 1-5, column 1, row 5, strikeout on a 1-15. That is a 19. It is too high. Suppan, 2-2, column 2, row 2, double star 2, fly ball back there to Taguchi. He'll make the catch.
Out!
And with that, it is a failed SF. It's a failed sacrifice roll for Taguchi. We are going to roll for the other check for the sac fly. That is a 3, that is a 2, and it says if the roll is less than or equal to the adjusted base run rating, in this case it's a 3, that is a 2, the runner advances. So with that, the Brewers get on the board. It's 1-0 Milwaukee, and that is going to bring up Jason Kendall. So with 2 outs, we had a +1 to the base run rating. Jason Kendall comes up. He's batting a .317. Strategy roll is a 17. So Brewers standing pat, and here is the pitch. Infield, by the way, is at normal depth, 2-6, column 2, row 6. We currently consider that a blank right now, as Moyer has not faced his allowed number of batters. He can face 17 more before he's considered tired. Kendall, 2-2, column 2, row 2. That is going to be a double back there to Worth. Moyer being a left-handed pitcher, so on the batter card we look to the left-handed side of the slash. That's where we get the double to Taguchi.
And it's a double.
Hall on third, he will advance home. He'll pick up the extra base. That is a 3, and the die roll. First die, that is a 3. And the Brewers will take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the second.
Fans who interfere with play on the field will be escorted from the stadium.
Go to the top of the order, Ricky Weeks, batting a .155. Strategy roll is a 6. Brewers holding off, and here is the pitch. Infield's at normal depth, 5-4. Column 5, row 4. That is a walk on a 1-19. The 16 is in range, and that is going to be good for a walk.
Outside! Base on ball.
So runners on first and second, and that's going to bring up Gabe Kepler. Kepler is 0 for 1. Strategy roll 9. Brewers holding off, and the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-5. Column 5, row 5. Hit by pitch, that is an 8. Moyer, remember, will add a +5. The 15 is too high. 4-1, column 4, row 1. That's a single out there to Taguchi. Strategy roll. We'll roll for runner advancement. This time it's a 6. We check the second die. It is a 1, and that tells us all runners hold. So, bases are loaded, and that's going to bring up Ryan Braun, who is 0 for 1. Strategy roll is a 10, and here is the pitch. 4-3, column 4, row 3. Strikeout on a 1-10. The 11 is too high. Braun, 5-6, column 5, row 6. Power hit to Worth. So, on a 1-2, it's a single. On a 3-5, it's a double. 6-7, triple. 8 or higher. That is the out. It's a 19. It's a fly out. Worth goes back and makes the catch.
Out!
2 runs, 3 hits, and no
Have you
errors.
picked your designated driver for this evening? Please remember to drink responsibly.
As the Brewers will leave them loaded. After 2, it's Brewers 2, Phillies nothing. We go to the top of the 3rd. Eric Barnett, Carlos Feliz, and Jamie Moyer due up for the Fightin' Phils. Eric Barnett batting a .259, and here is the pitch. 6-6, column 6, row 6, range play at the ballpark. This time it's a range play, so that means we're going to check the first number in the outfielder's arm. Whose range are we checking? That's going to be a 6-6, column 6, row 6, ground ball to Hall. His range is on a 1 to 5.
Hard ground ball.
That is a 4. Hall will make the catch.
What a play to get to that ball!
And that puts 1 away. Hall is 2 for 3 on his range plays, but he has committed 3 errors so far in the replay. Carlos Feliz batting a .212. 2-3, column 2, row 3, home run on a 1 to 3. The 20 is too high. 3-2, column 3, row 2. Instead, it's a double out there to Hall.
Line drive down the right field line, slicing toward the corner, air ball! Off the wall!
As Hart goes back, throws it in, Weeks will catch it. They will hold Carlos at second. So 1 out, runner on second. Strategy rolls a 4 as Jamie Moyer comes up to bat. Moyer, no average just yet, but he does have an RBI. And here is the pitch to Jamie. And that is going to be a 1-1, column 1, row 1, home run. That's a 0, nothing for Moyer. The 11 is too high. Moyer 3-3, column 3, row 3, fly ball back there to Broad. He'll make the catch.
You're out!
Feliz will hold, and that'll be out number 2. We go to the top of the order. Jason Worth, 0 for 1. Strategy roll is a 2, and here is the pitch. 2 outs, infield at normal depth. 5-4, column 5, row 4. That is a blank. Worth. 1-2, column 1, row 2, double star 2. That's a ground ball to Hall. He'll make the catch.
Out!
And that'll be out number 3. So the Phillies will leave no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Phillies leave 1 stranded. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Prince Fielder, Corey Hart, and Bill Hall due up for the Brewers. Prince Fielder is 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. 4-5, column 4, row 5, strikeout on a 1 to 12. The 13 is too high. 5-1, column 5, row 1, fly ball back there to Worth. He'll make the catch.
Out!
And that'll put 1 away. Corey Hart, 1 for 1 with a run scored. The pitch, 5-1, column 5, row 1. That's going to be a blank. Hart, 3-2, column 3, row 2. Ground ball to Utley. Utley makes the catch, throws it over to Dobbs.
Out!
As Dobbs will tag the plate, and that'll put 2 away. 2 up, 2 down, and that is going to bring up Bill Hall. Hall with a walk and a run scored, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-3, column 6, row 3. And that is going to be at the ballpark. We're going to go to Miller Park. And here is the pitch. The response, 3-6, column 3, row 6. Ground ball to Barnett. He'll make the catch.
You're out!
And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors as the Phillies retire the Brewers in order after 3. It's Brewers 2, Phillies nothing. We go to the top of the 4th. Greg Dobbs, Chase Utley, and Pat Burrell due up for the Fighting Phils. Greg Dobbs 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. 1-2, column 1, row 2, strikeout on a 1-11. The 20 is too high. Dobbs. 5-4, column 5, row 4. It's a single out there into left field. Run as Dobbs will hit a blooper out there into left field. Strategy roll is a 3, so if the strategy die is within 2, above or below the ATT number, it is a hit and run attempt. So, here is how hit and runs work. All ground double play ratings will get a -2. Base run ratings will get a +2. Home run and walk ratings are cut in half. We round those down. Lineouts are considered double plays with the exception of an error on a throw. And if the batter strikes out, we'll resolve the play as a steal. Here comes Chase Utley to the plate. Utley is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Infield is at double play depth, and here is the pitch. Utley 5-6, column 5, row 6. That is a blank. 3-6, column 3, row 6. It's a double out there to Kepler. Kepler can't get it as he'll chase it back to the wall.
He rocks one to right center field. That'll shoot the gap and go to the wall, and one hops the wall.
It's a one-hopper off the wall, and that'll put runners on second and third, and they'll hold as Kepler throws the ball over to Hardy. The die roll check is a 6, tells us to hold everybody. Strategy roll is a 6. Infield is at normal depth. Runners on second and third. Pat Burrell 0 for 1. And here is the pitch. 1-3, column 1, row 3. That's going to be a range play. Whose range are we checking? 5-4, column 5, row 4. Ground ball to Hall. Hall's range is on a 1 to 5.
Hard ground ball.
It's a 2. He'll make the catch.
That is a really good play.
Are they going to try to score the runner? They are. Will they go for the auto out at first? They will. So with that, Dobbs will score. And with that, Burrell will get out at first. Utley holds at second. So the Phillies are on the board. It's 2-1 Brewers. Phillies down by 1 with 1 out and a runner on second. Strategy roll is a 9, and what I do for the yes-no decisions. I roll a d6. If it comes up odds, it's yes. If it comes up even, it's no. Simple. It works as my decider die for decisions for that. So Taguchi is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Strategy roll is a 9, and here is the pitch. 3-6, column 3, row 6. Possible error. Whose error range are we checking? 6-5, column 6, row 5. That's going to be a fly ball to Kepler. Kepler's error range is on a 1 to 20. It's a 13. He'll make the error. It's a one-base error as Kepler drops the ball. Utley goes to third. He's waved around on the error. Utley scores, ties the game up. Taguchi's waved around. He'll advance to second on that error. And with that, it's tied up at 2. On an error play by Kepler, that is an E-8. So the Phillies tie the game up at 2. Taguchi's on second. Strategy roll this time is a 20. Anytime a 20 comes up on the strategy die, it is a pickoff attempt. Unfortunately, Jeff Sprawn does not pick anybody off, but we'll still show that number off for the clarity of it. That would have been a 9, so he doesn't pick anyone off. Pedro Feliz is 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. 3-3, column 3, row 3, strikeout on a 1-8. The 11 is too high. Feliz, 3-3, column 3, row 3. This time it is a single pass fielder down the first baseline. Taguchi goes to third as he waved around home. He'll go from second home on a base run rating of a 2 through 6. So we take a look at Taguchi's base run rating. That is a 3. And that will be in range. He is waved around home. Taguchi will score standing up. It's 3-2 as the Phillies take a 1-run lead here in the top of the 4th. One out, runner on second. Taking a look here at Jeff Sprawn, he can go 10 more batters. However, his pull rating, that is the second number there that counts down, that is a 6. So once that hits 0, we'll decide, that decides whether the bullpen's going to warm up. As it gets closer to that, are they going to keep him out there, or do we pull him on that? So that is a decision that you alone have to make as the situation calls for it. Eric Burnett is 0 for 1. Strategy roll is a 6. Infield now is at double play depth. And here is the pitch. Burnett 1-4, column 1, row 4 off of Jeff Sprawn. That is a 0. Burnett, it's a blank. 2-3, column 2, row 3. It's a ground ball to Hall. Now let's check to see for double play. Weeks is a 0. That is a 0 off of there. The ground double play rating off of Barnett's card is a 4. That is a 2. Now, if the roll is less than or equal to the ground double play rating, it is a double play. That is shaded green. That means it's a double play. The pivot being Weeks, it is a 5-4-3 double play.
Double play!
And with that, we are going to make an adjustment. We don't need to make any adjustments as it automatically does it here. He will have 2 earned runs and one unearned run. I can't speak right now with that. 3 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error, and 1 left on for the Phillies. We go to the bottom of the 4th. And that is going to be J.J. Hardy, Jeff Sprawn, and Jason Kendall due up. J.J. Hardy 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. 4-5, column 4, row 5, strikeout on a 1-9. The 16 is too high. 3-5, column 3, row 5. That's a fly ball back there to Worth. He'll go back to the wall, make the catch.
Out!
And that puts 1 away. Jeff Sprawn 0 for 1 with an RBI, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. That is a blank. Sprawn being a right-handed batter, so on Moyer's card, we do look to the right-handed side of the slash. 3-4, column 3, row 4. This time it's a ground ball down the third baseline to Feliz. He'll make the catch.
Out!
And that'll be 2 away. Jason Kendall is up. Kendall is 1 for 1 with a double and an RBI. And here is the pitch. 3-5, column 3, row 5. That is a blank. 1-6, column 1, row 6. Ground ball to Utley. Utley goes back, makes the catch. Underhands it to Dobbs, who'll make the play, tags the base.
You're out!
And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors as the Fighting Phillies retire the Brewers in order. It's 3 up, 3 down. Very easy inning to score there. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 4, it's Phillies 3, Brewers 2. We go to the top of the 5th. Carlos Ruiz, Jamie Moyer, and Jason Worth due up for the Phillies. Taking a look at Jeff Sprawn, he can face 9 more batters before he's considered tired. Carlos Ruiz is 1 for 1 with a double, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 3-1, column 3, row 1, possible error on a ground ball. So whose error range are we checking? 4-4, column 4, row 4, ground ball to Hardy. His error range is on a 1 to 2. It's a 16, no error there. Hardy will make the catch, throw it over to fielder.
Out.
And that'll be out number 1. Jamie Moyer 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. Moyer 1-1, column 1, row 1, home run. That is a blank. The 16 is too high. 4-6, column 4, row 6. It's a ground ball up the middle to Sprawn. He'll make the catch, flip it over to fielder.
Out.
Tags the base, and that'll put 2 away. 2 up, 2 down, and we'll go to the top of the order. Jason Worth 0 for 2, and here is the pitch. Worth 5-6, column 5, row 6. That is a blank. We'll roll for Worth. And that is going to be a 4-6, column 4, row 6, ground ball to Hall. Hall will make the catch, throw it over to fielder. And that will retire the side. So the Brewers retire the Phillies, return the favor, retire the Phillies in order, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and it's the top of the order for the Brew Crew. Ricky Weeks, Gabe Kepler, and Ryan Braun due up for the Brewers. Take a quick drink here. Top of the order. Weeks walked his last time up, and here is the pitch. 5-2, column 5, row 2. That is a blank. Remember, Weeks is a right-handed batter, so on the pitcher card, we look to the right-handed side of the slash. Weeks 2-6, column 2, row 6. That is a single out there into center field. Hits a blooper to Worth. And with that, Ricky Weeks will get on with a base hit. So no outs, runner on first, and that's going to bring up Gabe Kepler. Kepler is 1 for 2. Strategy roll is a 9 with the infield at double play depth. And here is the pitch. 1-3, column 1, row 3. That is a blank. Kepler. 5-4, column 5, row 4. Ground ball to Barnett. He'll make the catch. Double play chance. That is a 0 off of Moyer. A 0 from Utley beating the pivot. Ground double play rating is a 2. That is a 5. So the runner at first is forced out at second. Utley will run over with it as Barnett flips it to Utley for the force out.
Out.
And with that, Kepler is on by fielder's choice. Strategy roll is a 20. So with that, remember, Moyer does not pick anyone off, but we'll still show that number off. That is a 4. Ryan Braun is up. He's 0 for 2. The infield is at double play depth, and here is the pitch. 6-2, column 6, row 2. Possible error on a ground ball. 1-1, column 1, row 1. That is a single to Utley. Utley's error range is on a 1 to 3. There's no error check made on an infield single. single. The batter is thrown out at first. So with that, Kepler is forced out.
Out.
And that Braun will make it to first, and with that, once again, Burnett will make the tag this time. Two outs, runner on first. Strategy roll is a 13, and with that, Prince Fielder is up. He's 0 for 2. Infield, normal depth, strategy roll is a 13, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-5, column 5, row 5, hit by pitch, 1 to 18. Remember, we add a +5 to that. That is an 11, and with that, Fielder will gets hit in the elbow. The crowd here at Miller Park not liking that. They are booing Moyer with that, and the umpire warns Moyer not to do that again. Moyer can face 3 more batters. Corey Hart up. Hart is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Strategy roll 13. Infielders at normal depth. Runners on first and second. And remember, with 2 outs, we add a +1 to the base run rating. 1-4, column 1, row 4. That is going to be a walk plus on a 1 to 17. The 13 in range. Because remember, on a walk plus, we add 10, plus the 1, we add 11.
Outside. Base on ball.
And once again, Moyer will load the bases. Bill Hall up now. Strategy roll is an 11. Brewers holding off. Hall, 0 for 1. Hey, midlife crisis. Yeah, that he did. But welcome in, midlife crisis. How you doing? Glad you could join us today here at Miller Park for some exciting Phillies baseball. As the Phillies come into this game at 10 and 12, the Brewers at 8 and 13. Phillies won the first game. They are looking to try to win the series here, but the Brewers looking to try to split the series. So we'll see what happens with the remaining innings left in the game. Bill Hall, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run. And that is going to be a 1-1, column 1, row 1. It's a range play. Whose range are we checking? 6-1, column 6, row 1. It's a fly ball to Taguchi. His range is on a 1 to 3.
Looked in the air to shallow right. It's coming on.
That is a 4. It's outside of the range. It's going to be good for a single. Braun will score. He'll tie the game up.
Let that ball get by him.
And it's a tie game at 3. And with that, the Brewers tie the game up at 3. Fielder will hold at third. He'll go from second to home on a +1. However, the die roll is a 5. He'll hold.
Everybody clap your hands.
And with that, Moyer can face 1 more batter, J.J. Hardy up. He's 0 for 2. Strategy roll 17, and here is the pitch. 3-3, column 3, row 3. At the ballpark, we're going to go to Miller Park. And that is going to be a 1-5, column 1, row 5, HR8. That's going to go back there to Worth. It's going to be a home run. Strategy roll, it's an 18. That is a 6. And that's a grand slam home run. J.J. Hardy with a grand slam brings them all home.
There's a drive. Way back. It might be.
And with that, the Brewers take a 4-run lead. It's 7-3 Brewers as they flip the scoreboard. We'll take a look at Hardy's Hardy's stats when it comes back around, but that ball was hit dead center, and all Worth could do was just watch it go. 2 outs, nobody on. They just need one more out. They are going to leave Moyer out there. However, the bullpen for the Phillies is warming up. Jeff Sprawn is 0 for 1 with an RBI, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-4. Column 4, row 4, possible error on a throw. And that is going to be a 6-4, column 6, row 4, ground ball to Utley. Utley's error range is on a 1 to 3. That is going to be a 5. However, he'll make the catch, throw it over to Dobbs.
Out!
And that will retire the side.
Be sure to visit our concession stands.
5 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and none left on. After 5, Brewers 7, Phillies 3. We go to the top of the 6th. And that is going to be Greg Dobbs, Chase Utley, and Pat Burrell due up for the Phils. Greg Dobbs is 1 for 2 with a run scored. And here is the pitch. Jeff Sprawn can face 6 more batters. And we do see action in the Phillies bullpen. And that is going to be a 2-2. Column 2, row 2. Strikeout on a 1 to 11. The 12 is too high. So not in range for the strikeout there. However, it's a 2-1. Column 2, row 1. Power hit to Kepler. On a 1 to 6, it's a single. 7 to 12, it's a double. 13, it's a triple. It's a 9. That's going to be good for a double.
He rocks one to right center field. That'll shoot the gap and go to the wall. And one hops the wall.
And Dobbs leads off with a double. Phillies down by 4. It's 4 to tie, 5 to take the lead. Chase Utley is 1 for 2 with a double, a strikeout, and a run. Strategy roll is a 4, and here is the pitch. 1-6, column 1, row 6. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 10. The 16 is too high. 3-3, column 3, row 3. That's a pop-up to Hardy. He'll make the catch.
Out!
And that'll put 1 away. So 1 out, Pat Burrell is up. He is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Strategy roll is a 13, and here is the pitch. 2-4, column 2, row 4. At the ballpark, we're going to go to Miller Park. 1-1, column 1, row 1, HRP on a 1 to 19. It goes back there to Braun. Braun goes back to the wall, chases it. It's into the stands, and it's a 2-run home run by Pat Burrell. And the Phillies cut the lead down to 2. It's 7-5 on a 2-run home run by Pat Burrell. Burrell with his 6th home run of the replay. It's 7-5.
No throwing of any objects on the playing field.
So Taguchi is up. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a run, and here is the pitch. 4-3, column 4, row 3. That is a double question mark. It's a single on a 1 to 5 because he's a right-handed batter. The 9 is too high. Otherwise, that would have been a base hit. 5-1, column 5, row 1, double star 1, ground ball to Weeks. Weeks makes the play, throws it over to fielder, and that'll be 2 away. Pedro Feliz is 1 for 2 with an RBI, and here is the pitch. 6-2, column 6, row 2. That is a walk. On a 1 to 10, the 20 is too high. Because remember, we add 1 for Miller Park. 4-3, column 4, row 3. Double star 1, ground ball to Weeks. He'll make the catch, throw it over to fielder.
Out!
And that will retire the side. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and none left on. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Jason Kendall, Ricky Weeks, and Gabe Kepler due up for the Brew Crew. So the Phillies are going to have to make that go to the bullpen first. And with that, Phillies are going to bring in so all right-handers coming up. They're going to bring in Rudy. We have not seen much of Les. No, he's a right-hander. Not bringing him in. They're going to bring in Rudy. Rudy Sainez will come in. That is his card. Rudy Sainez comes into the game with a 2.17 ERA. He's got 1 win and no losses. He's pitched 8 1/3 of an inning, allowed 9 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 5 walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Jamie Moyer. Moyer went 5 innings, allowed 6 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned runs, 3 walks, 1 home run, 2 hit by pitches, and ERA of a 5.79. So 9-1-2 due up in the lineup for the Brewers. And here is the pitch to Jason Kendall. Kendall is 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. Rudy can face 5 batters, 3-1. Column 3, row 1. That's going to be a range play. Whose range are we checking? And that is going to be a 5-5. Column 5, row 5. It is a power hit to Brill. That is an 11. That's going to be good for a double. Brill's range is on a 1.
Hit in the air down the left field side. This is going to be a tough play.
And Brill will make the catch.
That is over his head, and that is out to the fence.
Sorry, Brill can't make the catch. Kendall is on with a double. And Brill is 1 for 13. 8% with 1 error committed so far in the replay. Top of the order, Ricky Weeks is up. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. Strategy rolls a 14, infield at normal depth. And the pitch. 1-5, column 1, row 5. That is a blank. Weeks. 5-2, column 5, row 2. Fly ball back there to Taguchi. He'll make the catch. Kendall will hold, and that'll put 1 away. Gabe Kepler is 1 for 3, and here is the pitch. Strategy roll 12, Brewers holding off. 4-6, column 4, row 6. That's going to be a wild pitch. On a 1-4, it's a wild pitch. On a 5-17, it's a passed ball. It's a 19, nothing happens. 2-1, column 2, row 1. Ground ball to Barnett. And the out is at first. Kendall will hold. Runners advancing, balls hit to the shortstop or pitcher. If the base run rating beats the roll of a D6, that is a 2. Kendall has that is a 4. Kendall's base run rating is a 2. He'll hold.
You're out!
2 outs. Runner on second, and Ryan Braun is up. He's 0 for 3 with a run, and here is the pitch. Strategy roll, by the way, is a 9. And that is going to be a 6-2. Column 6, row 2, walk plus on a 1-19. That is an 11. In range.
Walks, and that wasn't close.
And that is going to be a walk. So runners on first and second. Prince Fielder, 0 for 2 with a run scored. Strategy roll is a 10, and here is the pitch. 2-6, column 2, row 6. Strikeout on a 1-12. That is a 10. Struck him out.
The swing and a miss. He struck him out.
So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Brewers will leave 2 stranded. After 6, it's Brewers 7, Phillies 5. We go to the top of the 7th. Eric Barnett, Carlos Ruiz, and Rudy Sainz due up for the Fightin' Phils. Eric Barnett 0 for 2, and here is the pitch. Jeff Sprawn can face one more batter. However, the Brewers bullpen starting to get a little bit of action in there. This might be Sprawn's last inning pitched. 1-3, column 1, row 3. That is a range play. Whose range are we checking? 4-1, column 4, row 1, double star.
Hard ground ball.
Double star 2. It's a ground ball to Hall. His range is on a 1-5. That is a 5. He'll make the catch.
Boy, he had to cover a lot of ground to make that grab.
And that'll put one away. So now Jeff Sprawn is tired. So that means if we roll a 5-1, a 5-3, or a 4-3 as the result, the brackets now indicate, since Sprawn is tired, the pitcher will get pulled. Bullpen on the warm-up. Carlos Ruiz is 1 for 2, and here is the pitch. 5-6, column 5, row 6. That is a blank. Ruiz. 6-5, column 6, row 5. Line drive to Hardy. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. Rudy not taking the hit. Here is it going to bring in Mike Kurvenek. He's batting a 400, and here is the pitch. Kurvenek, 2-4, column 2, row 4. It's a range play. It's at the ballpark. We're going to go to Miller Park. 1-6, column 1, row 6. Double star 6. It's a fly ball back there to Hart. Hart goes back, makes the catch. As we sing, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Phillies once again going back to the bullpen, and they are going to bring in this time, they're going to bring in Clay Cordy. That is his card. Cordy comes into the game with a 6.0 ERA. 1 win, 1 loss. He's pitched 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, and no walks. Taking a look at the stats here real quick for Rudy. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 1.94. Let's take a look at the box score after 6.5 had been played here at Miller Park. Phillies coming off strong in the 4th inning. They've scored 3 runs in the 4th, 2 runs in the 6th, 5 runs on 6 hits and no errors. The Brewers scored 2 runs in the 2nd, 5 runs in the 5th. It's 7 runs on 7 hits with 1 error. So far, after 6.5, 13 hits between both teams, and a total of 7 men left on base between both teams. Corey Hart, 1 for 2 today with a walk and a run and 2 runs scored. And here is the pitch. It's Hart, Hall, and Hardy due up. 2-3, column 2, row 3. That is a blank. Cordy, 5-5, column 5, row 5. Excuse me there. Fly ball back there to Worth. Worth goes back. Makes the catch, and that puts 1 away. Bill Hall, 1 for 2 with a walk, a run, and an RBI. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-4, column 4, row 4, strikeout on a 1-17, Hall being a right-handed batter. So on the pitcher card, we look to the right-handed side of the pitcher. On the right-handed side of the slash. 17, that is a 17, struck him out.
He struck him out.
And with that, that'll put 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. J.J. Hardy due up. Hardy 1 for 3 with a home run, a run, and 4. It's a 4 RBI day for him, and here is the pitch. 4-4, column 4, row 4. Once again, that's a strikeout. This time it's a 1-11. That is a 1. Struck him out.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
So no runs, no hits, no errors as the Phillies retire the Brewers in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bot after 7. It's Brewers 7, Phillies 5. We go to the top of the 8th. And it's the top of the order. Jason Worth, Greg Dobbs, and Chase Utley due up for the Phillies. Brewers this time going to the bullpen, as we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Brewers. And this time they're going to bring in Brian Slouch. That is his card. Slouch will come into the game with a 3.87 ERA. No wins, no losses. He's pitched 9 1/3 of an inning, allowed 10 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Jeff Sprawn, he went 7 innings, allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 1 home run, an ERA of a 14.10. Top of the order, he's going to face 1, 2, and 3. Worth 0 for 3. Worth going to take the hit. And here is the pitch, 5-6. Column 5, row 6. That is a walk on a 1-11. The 20 is too high. 4-4, column 4, row 4. That's a pop-up down the third baseline to Hall. Hall makes the catch. And that puts 1 away. And Legends joins us here at Miller Park. Welcome in, Legends. Got some great baseball action right now going on. Brewers holding on to a 2-run lead over the Phillies in Game 2 of a 2-game series between the Phillies and the Brewers. Greg Dobbs is 2 for 3 today with a double and a 2 runs scored. And here is the pitch. Dobbs 1-4, column 1, row 4. Strikeout on a 1-11. The 12 is too high. Dobbs 1-6, column 1, row 6. Power hit to Broad. It's a 2. That's going to be good for a single. And with that, Dobbs will get on with a base hit. Utley is 1 for 3 today with a double, a strikeout, and a run. They are not going to pitch to him. They are going to intentionally walk him. Strategy roll, by the way, is a 12. So that is going to be a walk, a 6-6. Possible home run. On a 1-1, however, they did say they were going to intentionally walk him. So they are going to do that. They are going to walk Utley.
Outside. Base on balls.
So with that, runners on first and second, that's going to bring up Pat Brill. Brill not going to take the hit here. And instead, they're going to bring in Chris Snierg. Snierg, their home run guy, going to try to take the lead here. They're going to bring him in here. Snierg is batting an .857. He's already played in more games than in his replay, but he's my clutch guy for the Phillies when they're this close. And here is the pitch. However, Slouch 4-1, column 4, row 1 at the ballpark. They're going to go to Miller Park. 6-3, column 6, row 3, double star 2. It's a ground ball to Weeks. He'll make the catch. So Snell, with that, that is a fielder's choice. So with runners on first and second, that is a 1. So it's going to be runner on first. The runner on first, forced at second. However, that is a 3. It's higher than the 1. So with that, Dobbs goes to third. Utley goes to second.
Out.
And with that, it is 2 outs and runners on second and third. And Taguchi, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a run. Strategy roll is a 15. 2-2, column 2, row 2. That is a blank. Slouch still tired. They do need one more out. Strategy roll 15. Phillies holding off. Infield is at normal depth. And here is the pitch to Taguchi. 1-2, column 1, row 2. It's going to be a ground ball to Hall. Hall will make the catch. I'm sorry. It's to Hardy. Hardy makes the catch.
You're out.
And that will retire the side. So with that in left field, we're going to have to make some changes here. They're going to bring in... So Taguchi will go out into the left field. So actually Worth is good at center. Dobbs. Yep. Dobbs is going to go out there to left field. And that just leaves first base now. And they're going to bring in Ryan Howard. Actually, yeah. Howard is going to take over at first. So that is the changes the Phillies make to their lineup. And with that, Clay Cordy not going to pitch the remaining. It's 1 run, no runs, 1 hit, and no errors for the Phillies. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Brian Slouch, Jason Kendall, and Ricky Weeks due up. If that result would have came up as a home run midlife crisis, they probably would have went with it. But instead, they did say they were going to attempt to walk Utley. That's what I rolled as my decider die. And just taking a look at his stats, they weren't going to pitch to him anyhow. And with that, they are going to bring in Ryan. Actually, they're going to bring in, yep. They're going to bring in CJ Romeo to pay, for this inning. That is his card. He'll come into the game with a special K. We'll talk about that special K when it comes up. So Brian Slouch, Jason Kendall, and Ricky Weeks. Yeah, it worked, but unfortunately with my home run guy, my clutch home run guy, it came up ballpark card, and he couldn't get the home run off for the Phillies to take the lead. It's just the way the dice came out that way. I was trying to get the home run for the lead, but unfortunately the dice did not work, and Yes, I do know I overused him a little too much in the replay. But that's the fun part about using him. You know, I found a guy that can hit my clutch home runs when I need them. Brian Slash is up. He's not going to take the hit. However, CJ Romeo, let's take a look at him. He is 1 win and no loss. He does have 1 save. Has 8 innings pitched, allowed 2 hits, 17 strikeouts, and 3 walks. And the stats for Clay Cordy, he's went one inning, allowed 2 strikeouts, an ERA of a 5.14. So Slash not taking the hit. They're going to bring in Joe Dillon to pinch hit. Dillon batting a .286, and here is the pitch. We'll talk about the Special K when that comes up in play, and that is going to be a 1-4, column 1, row 4, home run chance on a 1-14. That is a 4. Dillon needs a 4 or less. It's a 17. It's too high. It's outside of the range of the Special K. 1-1, column 1, row 1. Ground ball down the third baseline to Feliz. He'll make the catch.
Ow!
And that'll put 1 away. Jason Kendall, 2 for 3 with 2 doubles and an RBI. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-1. Column 6, row 1. That is a blank. Special K rating on a 1-8. 14 is too high. 6-5, column 6, row 5. Fly ball back there to Taguchi. He'll make the catch.
Out!
And that'll put 2 away. Ricky Weeks is 1 for 2 with a walk. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-4. Column 4, row 4. That is a blank. Special K rating on a 1-8. That is an 8. Struck him out.
Remember to get your copy of the souvenir program.
So no runs, no hits, and no errors as the Phillies retire the Brewers in order. After 8, it's Brewers 7, Phillies 5. Phillies down by 2. It's 2 to tie, 3 to take the lead, and the Brewers once again going back to their bullpen. They are in a save situation here, so they're going to bring in Simon, let's see. They're going to bring in Eric. Eric Ganning will come in. That is his card. Ganning comes into the game with no ERA. He's got 1 save. He's pitched 8 2/3 of an inning, allowed 7 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Brian Slash, he went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, an ERA of a 3.49. Let's take a look at the box score real quick after 8 innings had been played here at Miller Park. Phillies once again scoring only 3 runs in the 4th inning, 2 runs in the 7th, and they've been shut out in the 7th and the 8th. It's 5 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Brewers scored 2 runs in the 2nd, 5 runs in the 5th. It's 7 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. So due up for the Phillies, it's Pedro Feliz, Eric Barnett, and Carlos Feliz due up. Feliz is 1 for 3 with an RBI. They are going to let him take the hit. And here is the pitch. Will the Phillies find some 9th inning magic? 6-6, column 6, row 6. That is a double question mark single on a 1-6. The 12 is too high. 4-5, column 4, row 5, double star 4. It's going to be a ground ball to Hardy, and that puts 1 away.
Out!
Eric Barnett is 0 for 3. Barnett Barnett not going to take the hit here. And instead, they're going to bring in Shane Victorino to come in to pinch hit. Victorino batting a .241, and here is the pitch. Victorino being a switch hitter, he's batting left, 2-3. Column 2, row 3, that is a blank. Victorino, 6-4. Column 6, row 4, that is a single pass fielder. And Victorino is on with a base hit. Strategy rolls are turned off. The Phillies with 1 out. And the reason strategy is turned off, we take the difference of the score. We take the difference of the score. In this case, it's a 2-run game. Add it to the inning we're in. We're in the 9th. We get the number 11. 2 plus 9 is 11. If the number you get is higher than 10, strategy rolls are turned off until you bring that number down. Infield at double play depth, 1 out and a runner on first, and Carlos Ruiz is up. And here is the pitch to Ruiz. And that is going to be a 3-5. Column 3, row 5, that is a blank. Ruiz representing the tie and run, 2-4. Column 2, row 4, ground ball to Hall. Hall makes the catch. And that is going to be a double play to end the game. Weeks is a 0. That is a 0. The ground double play rating is a 4. The die roll is a 4. And that is the ball game as the Brewers split the series on a 5-4-3 double play.
Double play!
And that is the game as the Brewers split the series and win today's game of a final score of 7-5. Final line score coming right up. So the Brewers defeating the Phillies. Thank you very much on that, Dwayne. So the final score, Brewers 7, Phillies 5. Phillies 5 runs on 8 hits and no errors. The Brewers 7 runs on 7 hits and 1 error committed. Jeff Sprawn will pick up his first win. Jamie Moyer picks up his 3rd loss. Eric Greneggs will pick up his 2nd save. Pat Burrell hits his 6th home run of the replay, and J.J. Hardy hits his 5th. Let's take a look at the stats real quick here of the pitchers. Jeff Sprawn picks up his first win of the replay. He went 7 innings, allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 1 home run, and ERA of a 14.10. Jamie Moyle will pick up his 3rd loss. He pitched 5 innings, allowed 6 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned runs, 3 walks, 1 home run, 2 hit by pitches, an ERA of a 5.79. CJ Romeo, the last pitcher up for the Phillies, he went 1 inning, allowed 1 strikeout, still no ERA for him. And with that, Eric Greneggs will pick up his 2nd save. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, no ERA. So the Phillies will drop to 12-11. They remain 1 game above 500. And the Brewers go to 9-13. So let us plug that in to the standings. right, so let's take a look here at the standings real quick before we close out. So the Phillies dropped to 12 and 11. They still remain at one game above 500. It's their first loss. And they dropped to 3.5 games now out of first. And the Brewers go to 9 and 13. They dropped to 8 games out of first. So no change there. They don't move. Nobody moves up the ladder on the standings. And that is going to do it for us here at Miller Park. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and a thumbs up. And remember to click that bell notification to be notified of when the next exciting live game in the 2008 live Phillies replay game goes live. And when I go live, and when new videos in the remaining games in the 2008 replay go up. And until next time, I'm Scooney007. We'll see you for another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, I'm Scooney007. We'll see you next time.